Today I'm going to share my thoughts on a video titled, Andrew Tate Warns All the Nice Guys. Let's hear what I'm sure this very emotionally stable person has to say about dating women.
You can be nice to women. I'm not saying don't be nice. The idea of being nice in and of itself has no value because nice is something.
Kindness is a virtue.
Nice is something that can be fabricated, right? You or I can go out there and be nice. We can be nice to people we don't like.
Yeah.
Anybody can be nice. So if there's no scarcity attached, how can I have a value? Something like status is very hard to fake, right? Something like that Lambo is very hard to fake.
That's not how you measure what's valuable. We can basically fake everything, every personality trait, and status isn't that hard to fake at all. I mean, the Tinder swindler showed that you can convince a bunch of women in a few days that you're an Israeli billionaire to give up all your money. And I know plenty of dudes in online dating who've rented supercars or found one on the street and took pictures just to convince women that they were a baller. And owning a Lambo says nothing about your character to other people. You can meet somebody who's a complete controlling asshole that will ruin your life who just happens to own a supercar.
Something like all these things are very hard to fake, but nice can be faked. And in fact, most girls will tell you the guy that started off nice, as soon as he didn't get the pussy, he's the one who starts going, you know what, bitch, I don't even like you do this. The whole thing was a lie. So these women have evolved when you come along talking nice to think, I remember the last psycho was talking nice.
What he's describing there is the furthest thing from nice. He's talking about somebody who's a manipulator trying to get something from other people, while a nice person does things without any expectations in return. And that's why it's actually harder to fake being nice, because nice people that are sincerely nice are consistently so and don't have those moments where they don't get their way and then fucking blow up on people. And if you meet a woman who automatically equates being nice to something sinister, then you're probably talking to somebody who has attachment disorders or who struggles with her own self-worth.
Nice is almost a red flag to a lot of women, right? Because why would you? And let's be honest, gentlemen, me being a misogynist, right? Let's be honest. Why would you be nice to a chick unless you're trying to fuck her?
Jesus Christ, man. Imagine thinking that the only way that you could be kind to 50% of the population is because you have to have sex with them. Think about how disturbing that thought is. And yeah, I think you're starting to show that you're a bit of a misogynist, so no air quotes needed.
Right. But the point is, when a guy comes along trying to be nice, I think women instinctively kind of look at you and go, look, you just met me. You don't know me. And you're being extremely
emotionally
nice
unstable women.
And that, to a degree, I think warns them. That's deceptive on some level. I think that's the reason they're semi-repulsed by it. Like, you knew me an hour ago and you're being all nice to me. Like, what do you want? Well, we know what we want. And she knows what we want. Yeah. So the whole thing just looks fake. It doesn't look genuine. Right. And integrity and being a genuine person is not just something that women respect in men. It's something that men respect in men. It's something that people respect in other people. So it's good when a woman meets you to know that you're a genuine individual. Doesn't mean don't be nice, but also means just because she got big titties, you start turning up and busting out presents an hour in. Yeah. It's just wrong.
What a straw man argument, as if there's only like a black and white type of guy. You know, the guy that shows women right off the bat he wants to sleep with them, or the guy who empties his bank account in like 2 minutes. And yes, I agree that women can be apprehensive if they can tell you're only being nice to get their approval or to get something from them. But if you are a nice person who's also willing to like speak his mind and disagree and have boundaries and lead and show interest, then that's the best of both worlds.
It triggers her radar. You know, it's wrong. If you were a serial killer weirdo and you were uncomfortable with girls and you wanted to convince her to get back in the back of the van, you turn up with chocolates, bro. That's what you do. True or false?
You pull up in the ice cream truck.
Yeah, they'd be like, hey.
If I was a pedophile trying to target 9-year-old girls, I would just lure them into my white van that says free candy. Like, how low do you think of women?
Maybe I'll use So there's something disingenuous about it. And that's what I think the confusion is, because a lot of guys also message me and say, oh, yeah, you know, nice. I'm very nice to the women I associate with. I'm a nice guy. There's a huge advantage in life to being likable. That is a skill that most people should cultivate.
And look at the language that he's using. There's a huge advantage to being likable, and it's a skill you should cultivate. And like, while I agree with that in principle, these types of guys are just thinking in ways to manipulate others to always get what they want, which is the opposite of being nice.
Being likable. I can actually honestly say all the people who YouTube aside, in the real world, the people who dislike me are people I've decided it's okay for them to dislike me. Or pure violent haters, which every man gets, right? But if I'm in a conversation with somebody and I want them to like me, I have a 100% success rate. I know how to make people like me. I know how to be a likable person.
So you know how to make people like you, aka you fool people how to like you. Got it.
I had a guy come to me the other day and he said, oh yeah, the women in my office really dislike me. I'm like, why? Oh yeah, well they're this, they're that. I'm like, bro, you're in a corporate setting arguing with chicks. HR, you're gonna get wrecked.
With chicks?
Be likable. Like, do something. Like, how can you not be likable on that level? So all in all, I think being likable is a superpower, and I think it's something you should cultivate. And it translates across everything, from business to women to everything else. And if you're likable enough, you'd be amazed what you get away with. I mean, you see me on Fresh and Fit. I say some shit, bro. But I'm likable enough, but the girls got to sit there and go,
yo, I'm watching you talk crazy, and you're surrounded by 10, 15 chicks, and you're sitting in the middle, and even you're talking crazier, they're getting cozier and cozier. And I'm like,
yo, bro, all these chicks in these corporate environments, you can't slap their ass anymore. You got to be likable or you get in trouble with HR. Any man who's 35 years old and still talks like this, I would never take advice from. And I love that he ends this talking point by revealing his true character and bragging about how you can get away with anything as long as you're a good enough manipulator. And if you want a much healthier take on the struggles of being a nice guy in dating, then watch my video here where I react to Anna Akana's Signs You're Dating a Nice Guy. She's pretty awesome.